There are several other aspects to documenting your work that don't always involve images, and a huge one is to create an artwork inventory, a running catalog of all the work you've created, where it is, what condition it's in, how much it costs, how big it is, everything you can. This might seem like homework, but trust me, your future self will be so grateful. There's a template you can download. Put in the title, all of the media, the exact dimensions, go ahead and measure it, and the year. Keep track of where it's been exhibited and where it's stored. If it ever gets damaged or lost, you can make notes of that. An indication of the full retail price or what you sell it for. There's a place where you can put an image. Save it at 0.9 by 0.9 inches at 72 dpi, and it'll be clear enough for you to tell what the work is without being so large that the file gets unmanageable. For different kinds of media, you might have more information. For instance, you could keep track of your print editions. When you sell a piece, or it gets lost or stolen or donated or something like that, you can keep track of the patron contact information. In fact, you can use this same inventory to keep track of things like pedestals and frames so that you know what you can reuse for future exhibitions. This might seem like a whole lot of work, but at some point it's going to save you. Someone might contact you about an individual piece, and you'll be able to track it down. The earlier you start this kind of documentation, the easier it is. So at a minimum, record 10 artworks in your artist inventory. Go back further until you get to the point where you don't feel like you want to claim that. You can totally disavow your earlier work. Once you've created your artwork inventory, it will be simple to convert into things like a consignment record that you can drop off at a gallery. You can modify the fields as needed, and you'll have all the technical information ready to go. It'll also make creating sales invoices a breeze. Just enter the name and address of your patron, add in shipping, always make them pay for shipping, and print it out. The next documentation assignment that isn't exactly about images is still kind of about images. You'll be asked for different kinds of portfolios, different numbers of images, different sizes of those images. But the three most common portfolios you'll be asked for are a 5-image, a 10-image, and a 20-image portfolio. Go ahead and make image lists using the same font that you use for your artist statement and your CV for each of those portfolios. The trick here isn't whether or not you're able to cut and paste. The trick is, can you narrow it down to just 5, or do you have a full 20? You won't need exactly these lists for every application, but it will make your life easier if you've got them ready to go. Plus, if you haven't got 20 images yet, it's a good kick in the... Eventually, you'll have the opposite problem. It'll be impossible to cut down to just 5 images. Your website is also a form of documenting your work. The first step for it isn't building the website, it's choosing your domain name. Go ahead and register your domain name. If you're going to use a template service like Squarespace, you can register your name through them. If you're going to build your own website, Bluehost comes highly recommended as a place that you can buy a domain name. If yourfirstnameyourlastname.com isn't available, try some variation. Yourfirstnameyourlastnamestudio.com. Yourfirstnameyourlastnameart.com. Don't be too clever. You want something that's going to be really easy to find if people search for you on the internet. Have I mentioned that images of your work are your work for most viewers?